And again, I think a lot of that has to do with the subject matter that was covered. I mean, UFOs. The opening was about this. I mean, we like that. We all agree that we like Oliver Anthony. The song is great. Yeah. We talked about all the good things about it, but that's the opening basic question on why that song is resonating. I mean, okay, it might be like maybe that should have been the closing one, just a quick little thing. But
well, you know what? I didn't see that part, but that I think lended itself to jumping into those kitchen table discussions that people are having about the economy, about jobs, about all that stuff. Hold on a sec. And I think they just missed the boat on it. I think they set them up. They said, here's a softball. We're going to launch into, this could be cultural. This could be, things about, what regular Americans are feeling. And the fact that it didn't generate what I think it could have was probably, where they missed the boat.
Like they didn't word it right?
Maybe they didn't word it right. Maybe they, or maybe we're just dealing with politicians who just have to get their message out, and they, you know what? That's none of my concern, Tucker. Another one of those moments.
And that's to Jordan Boyd's point, saying that the moderator's line of questioning kind of quickly deteriorated, even from the asking about the Rich Men North of Richmond song, which is where they started. She said when it came time for questioning on abortion, Martha McCallum inaccurately framed Republicans' pro-life priorities as a losing issue since the Dobbs decision. Moderators gave the Republicans plenty of time to toot their fiscal horns and posture about funding the war in Ukraine. Noticeably missing from the debate stage, however, were key questions about problems facing everyday voters, like attacks on their religious liberty, the pervasion of radical gender ideology, the integrity of the Supreme Court, the rampant corruption clutching all of the country's major bureaucratic institutions, and, of course, nothing about the jab, lockdowns, and vaccine injuries. By the end of the evening, voters heard more about extraterrestrial life, climate change, and January 6th than they did about weaponization of the FBI, the DOJ, and the Democrats' ongoing indictment scheme against President Donald Trump. The majority of Americans recognize that there's a two-tiered system of justice that's governing the U.S. 56% say they understand that Trump indictments are interference in the election by the Department of Justice and not fair application of the law. But despite the concerns it elicits from voters across the board, the corruption of the nation's top federal law enforcement arm did not even make the list of most discussed topics on Wednesday night. Abortion got 7 minutes and 54 seconds. Their credentials got 6.5 minutes. Government spending got only 5 minutes, and border security got 5 minutes. In fact, the debate was more than halfway over before the moderators even spoke up about Trump's name or his possible looming sentencing. So, I mean, I guess if there was one, the content of both, I wish Tucker had asked more things. I think the president's going to get asked it at some point.
Right.
About vaccines, about all of this stuff. I mean, none of it was covered last night, but nothing was covered in the debate either.
Yeah, and I think Bongino summed it up best. I was listening to him today, and he said, if you're looking for policy stuff, you're looking in the wrong place, because this is a debate, but it's not about policy, really. It's about these people getting themselves in front of the American people and see if anybody likes them, right? It's like a fashion show. It's a popularity contest. They're trying to come across likable, and then they need to be entertaining. And if you're not, people are going to be like, "Oh, this is boring," and that's what it was. It ended up being boring because a lot of these people you just don't like.